This is a production of SDPB.
Friday nights in the fall are reserved for football. It's a sport that brings families, communities, and passion together. Today, we're going to visit 5 different communities throughout South Dakota to display some of the kids, coaches, and people who surround our football fields in our state. I'm Nate Weck, and welcome to Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton. This is Tales from the Gridiron of 2025.
Tales from the Gridiron is supported by your membership in the Friends of SDPB. Thank you. And by DeSmit Farm Mutual Insurance of South Dakota, protecting big things, little things, and the things we all love about South Dakota for over 100 years. And from Black Hills Federal Credit Union. Since 1941, BHFCU's been offering South Dakotans options that fit their financial goals. From small towns to big dreams, we're here to improve lives and support the communities we call home. Learn more, bhfcu.com. And from Agtegra Cooperative, your local hometown cooperative, farmer-owned for over 100 years. Agtegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
Donors to the Explore South Dakota Fund support the production of local documentaries and other programs of local interest presented by SDPB. Friends of SDPB appreciates their support of this program.
Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton is one of the most historic football fields in the state. The field was built more than a century ago, and while it might look different than it did in the early 1900s, the legacy lives on. What was once home to Yankton College is now currently home to Mount Marty and, of course, Yankton High School. While some schools have a lengthy legacy, others who are much newer are working on building their own culture and traditions with athletics. Lakota Tech High School, which is only about 5 years old, hired a new football coach in Eric Swiftwater this fall. And from the players to the administration, it's clear that Coach Swiftwater is the right man for the job. When it comes to the schools in the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, most think of basketball. But at Lakota Tech, a change happened this year that is garnering excitement on the football field. Enter Eric Swiftwater as the new head coach.
Very excited. It's been a long journey to get here, but I knew from the start that home is where I wanted to be and home is where I wanted to coach and everything. So it's just been a long journey to get here, but I'm very grateful to be here finally. I grew up in Oglala, about 15 miles out west there. I went to high school in Oryx. From there, we were able to co-op with Hot Springs. I graduated from Oryx and then was able to get an athletic scholarship to go play football at Black Hills State. I graduated from there in 2019 with my Bachelor's of Science in Sociology and Psychology. After that, I was able to go play some professional arena football down in the Indoor Football League for the Duke City Gladiators.
Since the talk started, I've been excited about Eric. You know, I've known Eric since he's been young, growing up. Being a kid from here, from the reservation, it was exciting to see somebody excelling at, at basketball, or at football especially. A lot of kids come out of here play basketball, but there's not a whole lot of football players. So seeing Eric and then getting to know him as a coach and as an adult, it's been great.
Indian country's small. And so we talk South Dakota small. I mean, as big as the state is, it's really small town feel. So you start asking around about people, and he just had so many good things that were said about him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my O-line. Stay right there, stay right there. Cool, you guys are O-line. Who's my receiver out here?
A lot of the things that I was excited about bringing Eric here, not just for his football knowledge, but what he has to give back to our students in the realm of life experiences. If you work hard, you know, and you put the effort forward and you live in a good way, even if you're gonna stumble once in a while and make mistakes, you can still get back to the road of what you're trying to accomplish.
I knew from when I was young that I wanted to build a program and have a strong football culture, especially back here on the reservation. I knew that it was something that I wanted to do, called a life goal of sorts. It was just about the bricks laying in the right spot and things kind of coming together. Especially being a family man now, I got to make sure my family's taken care of first and foremost. So once we were able to get those things sorted out, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Eric is also getting his legs under him in the classroom as an educator.
No.
It's not. Why is it not a SMART goal?
New career path for me. It's been a lot of adjusting on my end. I knew that when I got my degree, I wanted to be involved in the school in some way, shape, or form. I was just open to the opportunity of figuring out which that was. So just showing them that support and opening up new things for me. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy being challenged. So it's enabled me to grow in other ways that I didn't know I was ready for yet. But it's been a fun journey so far.
For me, he builds a lot of pride within us, a community, a family almost. We're always together, we're always working together, and we're always doing the most with what we're doing in practice, trying hard, and he's pushing us to be our best.
Pre-season, like right when you started coaching, I really like how you demanded everything, like how you wanted us to do it. I really like it here. It's like Eric's bringing a lot more, like I say, enthusiasm to us, like a lot more love for the sport.
It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says at Lakota Tech. Changing the football culture is a process, one that Coach Swiftwater is ready for.
I embrace the opportunity, I embrace the challenge. It's less of trying to be something as much as it is just kind of being myself. Going through trials and tribulations in my own life and what it took to get to this point, I use those as my own pillars of what can be done and how to do things. And I just hope that I can shadow those as much as I portray them to the kids. And I'm big on, I'm not going to ask you to do something if I'm not the first one doing it. I'm not going to tell you things that I haven't done personally, and I don't like speaking on things that I'm unfamiliar with. So I'm a big walk it as I talk it kind of guy. And I think the kids are picking up on that as well too. I believe that, especially the high school kids, man, they see honesty more than they see words. You know what I mean? And that aura, that energy that you bring, that's what they read first. So I've always been upfront and firm with them on that side of things. I told them right away, this is my first head coaching job as well too. So we're both learning in this mix, but it's not about the failures, it's about the willingness to keep fighting and keep moving forward. And I think I carry that attitude as much as I want them to carry it too. So.
High school football can carry so much variety. While some offenses can score in bunches through the air, others prefer the ground and pound style. For Mobridge Pollock, they have a running back who loves to get the ball in his hands. Let's take a trip to north central South Dakota to meet Max Saxon.
In Mobridge, South Dakota, you don't stumble into recognition, you earn it.
So no one really knows us, and it's that's part of why too I want our kids to have that chip on our shoulder, because we're not over by Sioux Falls. We don't really play a lot by Sioux Falls, so it's not like we're going to get all this exposure and stuff like that. And so we gotta play with that toughness and that physicality, because we gotta have people start to talk about us and have a reason to come watch us.
One reason people are starting to find them is number 4, Max Saxon, the Mack truck of South Dakota high school football.
He is not one to slow down for any kind. Like, he wants to run through contact. You can flip on a lot of film, and there's guys bouncing off of him as he's running. I mean, I firmly believe there may be, a couple guys around the state, but it's probably, you could count them on one hand that can take him down in a one-on-one situation, especially when he's got a head of steam to him.
The junior running back couldn't wait for the start of the season, but the schedule makers had other plans, giving Mobridge a bye in week 1. Torture for a guy who loves football as much as Mac.
It's a struggle. And that bye week just made me so mad. And I just took it out on Gridiron.
Coach Flaherty remembers the moment he realized Mac was different.
Well, he started playing as a freshman, and I remember there was a play, we threw a little swing pass out to him, and this was while he was still with the second team that freshman year. And I remember he ran out wide, caught the swing pass, and our starting linebacker ran out to tackle him, and he literally just ran through him where the kid just bounced off.
We were coming, and I trucked him in. It was awesome.
He doesn't just hit you, he ends you. When Mac sees a defender at his headlights, it's lights out.
Like some people have me on like Snap, and after the game they'll tell me like if I trucked them, and they'll be like it kind of hurt and stuff. So when I truck someone, the whole stadium gets crazy. So yeah, I really like that. Once I get energy going, I can't be stopped. So
bad news for the rest of the state: the Mac truck has added another gear.
Last year he had really thickened out, it was really strong. This year he's actually trimmed up a little bit and he looks faster. And now that he's done that, I think he's extremely dangerous.
Last year I was like 230, and this year I lost some weight, got faster, and I worked on my vision a lot over the summer.
We want him to be physical and to run, run through contact and stuff like that if it's there. But he also is smart enough for himself to be able to juke guys and understand when they're leaning and there's maybe a little too much leverage, and he can cut back and avoid quote unquote unnecessary hits.
Saxon became the first 1,000-yard rusher at Mobridge Pollock since the late 80s, and he did it as a sophomore. He's not chasing numbers though, he's chasing dreams.
So my goal is to play college, and if I'm good enough, go to the league.
Yeah, you're really good, but we want to see how good you can be, especially we want to try to maximize him as much as we can in high school, while he's here. And so, I have a really good relationship with him. I coach him really hard. I expect him to, in practice as if he is one of the best players in the state, because we feel he is.
Mac isn't just physically tough, he's wired differently.
Just because he loves the game. He loves being around. He'll come hang out with my family. He loves being around my family. He just loves life and football in general. I think that 100% describes him.
And I think when he's talking about strong is mentally, because I just don't give up.
Buckle up, because in a part of the state fighting for notoriety, Mac Saxon isn't just putting Mobridge Pollock on the map, he's forcing the state to circle it in bold.
When you think of football coaches, you think of tough, competitive individuals patrolling the sideline with a headset on Friday nights. Brandon Valley's Matt Christensen is no exception, but he has a passion for a different kind of football that young people also connect well with.
Matt Christensen, or as the students and athletes know as MC, knows football.
I was 4 or 5 years old. My dad got me Yankton Buck red stuff to wear and took me to some games and showed me the Bears games on TV too. I was 7 when they were really good in the Super Bowl, obviously. It was an impactful moment for everybody, and it was just cool to see them on TV and doing well. And then I happened to be kind of built for it, so that helped too. Had a tall mom and big dad, so that helped me start loving it because I could play it.
MC knows video games.
85, 86, Nintendo 8-bit showed up in a red sack on Christmas, and the door was propped open, a bunch of snow was coming in. My mom was stunned about, telling us to go open that bag and shut the door and get the snow out of here because Santa must have dropped something, and we started playing Mario Brothers.
While Mario and Luigi may have provided the first spark of video games, it was a game called Techno Bowl that combined both MC's passions into one.
I just kind of started being obsessed with it. I just loved it and could see the plays and how they mattered and how you could strategize a little bit and kept stats. That was really cool. And I could just kind of get into it and on cold winter nights, play like a whole bunch of the games. And my brother was good too, and I had a bunch of friends that got into it, so we'd play whole seasons. Yeah, we just kind of competed, and we were really competitive kids and always wanted to challenge each other and be the best at something. And yeah, it was fun to play against my brother because he was always really good at every game too.
In fact, MC was so good at Techno Bowl, found a way to compete in it.
I think it was my brother who showed me, hey, you understand there's a Tecmo tournament down here in Omaha, and I've never played in that one. I feel confident I could hang with a lot of the guys. I've only played in this one 3 years. I think it's been going on for around 10, and it's downtown Sioux Falls. It's a great cause. We raise money for the Family Visitation Center. John Boerichter does an awesome job with his wife. There's all these jerseys and cards, and it's just a good time with, adult friendship, which is sometimes hard to come by when everybody gets so very busy.
Not only has MC won titles in Techno Bowl, you might see a player or two on Friday nights for the Lynx from the 8-bit screen.
I think we definitely have. I know I have in certain blitzes that are very difficult to block, certain alignments or certain plays you can look out for. There's some carryover for sure. You got to remember they're players with real hearts and real brains, and when you put yourself in their shoes and remind yourself how difficult it is to make plays against such awesome opponents that we have, it doesn't always match up, and it's more like just remembering what humans can do.
Bo Jackson's, I think, really good in this game too.
Video games are really critical to me. They bring me together with friends and family. I think they're productive for your brain. I really think they're a good challenge, a good outlet, a good alternative to a lot of bad decisions that kids can make.
Mascots add the character to our athletic teams in South Dakota. In Avon, however, they've taken it up another notch. The Pirates have a literal ship that we just had to check out for ourselves. It's something that Captain Jack Sparrow would be proud of.
Go Pirates!
Welcome to Avon, home of the Pirates. Just like the pirates you see on the screens, these pirates raise the flag. They even have uniforms.
You step into the school and you know everybody here wears red and gold. You know they're a pirate and you feel like you belong.
Both these pirates battle for gold.
The Avon Pirates, they are the 9B champions.
Well, there is a couple differences in these pirates. The ones from Avon battle on the Gridiron, and for a long time, they were also missing a ship. Enter Dwight Brandt.
Well, it all started the prison down here. A friend of mine, they built it for some parades. They were hiring basically employees for the prison. So they ran it in a few parades, I think 2 or 3 parades, and end of the year came and we needed a float for our Parade of Lights. So he contacted me, basically asked if I was interested in it, and I'm like, sure. So that's kind of how we ended up with it.
While the ship made many stops around the eastern side of the state in parades, in a town full of pirates, they just needed a ship.
We actually approached them. You know, Dwight's daughter used it in a homecoming parade, and so we had it all painted up, and I'm not sure who came up with the idea, but we just thought it would be a good fit.
We're like, let's go park it at the football field for the game that night, homecoming night. So that's kind of when we started bringing it out here.
Since the ship has found its home in the south end zone, it has continued to evolve.
It's a group of buddies that we get together after work and do a lot of socializing and some work, so it's just a good time.
Fortunate to have all these guys in school, and they always had a lot of creativity, so I'm glad they put it to good use as they got older, and I'm really proud of the way that these alumni have supported the school with their time and their efforts, because it takes a lot of time to maintain this ship.
It's just a few boards fixed here, the floor starts rotting, you know, that kind of thing. Originally it wasn't built for 8 years of outside, you know, it was kind of just a parade float, but it works.
And in a small town, even the smallest symbol can bring everyone together.
Definitely like pride, like it just shows a lot of pride in the community that we have.
I mean, you gotta have a lot of pride to be willing to build a pirate ship and to keep it up for so many years.
Well, I think just a lot of pride and joy and memories are the big thing, you know. A lot of kids look at it and say, hey, I remember winning this or doing that, and, you know, taking pictures on it and riding it, all that fun stuff.
The ship means to me like a tradition, kind of. We have a strong tradition of just our pirate mascot.
Well, it means everything. It means a lot. We have it on our shirt. Once you're a pirate, you're always a pirate.
So we have a town of 600 people, and a lot of people that graduated from here are back in the area. Their kids are coming back and playing sports. So it's just cool to be able to bring people together. The kids think it's awesome.
For fans and spectators, nothing beats that game day experience. In Wall, it's no secret where the Eagles play, as their stadium is viewable right off of I-90 about 50 miles east of Rapid City. This fall, SDPB visited Wall to experience a game day there for ourselves.
Front, 4 lines. Hey, lead us out, let's go.
Our town's definitely known for our football.
Yeah, football is just everything in Wall.
Since I'm a senior now, there's a lot more hype around it all for me.
Just having the community here is pretty special too.
So it's pretty sweet to just know that our town rallies behind us and that they're always cheering for us.
Hey, lock it in. Lock it in. Buffaloes are in our world now. Let's go to work. Everybody ready? Let's get it.
Game day in Wall is always special, but tonight, it's a little extra. It's homecoming.
Again, approach every game like it's a playoff game. Yes, it's homecoming. I get it, but you got to get after it.
Preparation for this event depends on who you ask. For the fans, it's a parade that starts the day, followed by a lively pep rally at the school, and then a scrumptious tailgate supper before the lights come on. For the players, it's a full day of routine and rhythm.
Usually we go to Wall Drug and eat breakfast, and then usually we go to Dawson's house, watch something, and then just get ready for the game.
And then by the time it's 4 o'clock, we head to the field and get on the Eagle.
Show up with your cap on and your jersey.
We come out about 2 hours before the game starts, kickoff.
And then from there, we go to the school and kind of get ready.
Kind of just lock in for the day, for the night.
For head coach Lex Heathershaw, now in his 9th season at Wall, preparation means planning, details, and just the right dose of motivation. First, it's over to the whiteboard for some X's and O's.
Which it might end up being weird, and this is why I wanted to draw this up, because on this motion, if they bump it...
After the strategy is laid out, it's about heart.
I've talked to you about this before, but no ilafia, right? So you play tonight with no fear. No matter what happens in the game, you battle for your brother. And you battle for your parents, you battle for your community. Get the heck after it tonight. There's not many opportunities in life that happen one time, right? One-time opportunities. Seniors, it's your last one. Last one.
Hey, no, let's go get it. No ilafia. Eagles, 1, 2, 3. Go.
A short walk from the locker room to the field, and everything comes together. The fans, the players, the coaches, all the preparation, all the pride. It's about to pay off.
It is, right to him. Perfect. Just about turf-toed him. Not gonna make it. Nope, almost, so good return. Touchdown.
In Wall, this isn't just a football game. It's a Friday night tradition, fueled by pride, community, and the love of the game.
Austin Kirstead with the 3, starting in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
It's pretty clear that what truly makes high school football great in South Dakota is the variety and passion that you'll find everywhere. Whether you're looking to the north, south, east, or west, you're guaranteed to find people who love the sport and communities that support their kids in doing it. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for another year of Tales from the Gridiron here at SDPB. I'm Nate Weck saying so long from Yankton.